Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 26th of March. So starting looking with the euro dollar first, and well, yesterday, small inside day yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if we ran towards that weekly pivot. Maybe we could be pushing on further. Fundamentally still bearish on this market. Technically, well, it's really still in a bit of a bearish trip, but we'll see how we run from here. But overall, still looking relatively weak. Let's just look down the time frames. Consolidation on the 4 hourlies here, just getting short of the weekly pivot, which is underneath the 4 hourly 50 there. Would have liked to have seen that hit yesterday, but not to be had so far. Looking from a daily, well, on 60-minute with the daily pivots here, and a weekly pivot just on its own there at 1341. Well, if we ran up towards the R1 and the 200 MA, perhaps we would see a bit of resistance around that point, we'll see. But for now, it just really seems to be in a bit of a consolidation phase. Very tight range yesterday for sure. Pivots a pinch, so even if we sell off or buy or whatever else, the daily pivots here may have less value. Okay, pound. So there's voting going on again today in Parliament at some point on Brexit. Well, we'll see what happens. But it was caught by the markets marginally as positive, but well, so marginally as positive. It managed to pitch up for a little while, but again in a very tight range at the beginning of this week. You see it on this, it's all over its weekly pivot at the moment. Erring on the more bullish side slightly. Yesterday it's struggling to get much in the way of traction here, and it's really quite range bound in terms of the levels it's at. I mean, it could roll back towards yesterday's lows, maybe down to the S1, but certainly not a clear picture at the moment. Dollar yen. We get this sometimes in the mornings, and sometimes when you sort of got lacking of data, or you're waiting for some key data to come out that the markets can just chop sideways, and they're pretty much doing that at the moment. So the dollar yen, well, after the sell-off on Friday, well, a little doji yesterday, maybe we'll run up back to the weekly pivot, but it just shows you how thin these markets are when it can't even do 20 or 30 pips on the dollar yen. It's a very tight range yesterday. Again, we may, if we see the pound the euro selling, or if we just see money coming out of the yen to go back into risk, we may see some price action. But at the moment, looking at this, it double topped yesterday. We're coming back up towards that area yesterday. That's the near term tops, I should say. We're coming up to those sort of levels again. Maybe it will break through this time. Aussie dollar recovered a bit yesterday, pushed back up this morning so far. Solid beginning for the week there, or start to the week I should say. At the moment it's a neat little trend. Fundamentally I'm still bearish on the Aussie, but technically it seems to be in the short term here at least putting in a bit of a continuation from yesterday. A breakdown of the lows there could see it selling off back towards its daily pivot, but at the moment it seems quite solid. And finally the Canadian dollar. So the Canadian dollar is, well, it's starting to make a bit more of an effort, he says. Very small price action so far this morning. A bit of strength coming through from the Canadian dollars aspect there. Maybe it will make it back down to its weekly pivot. It's slow and tight at the moment, but it's poised. It may well do so. Just to confuse things though, on a daily basis, you've got the daily pivot above, the weekly pivot below. We'll just see how it gets drawn between these two. Okay, so not a lot to really run at on this morning at the moment, and news-wise it doesn't really help either, because there's no significant news events until we'll get the voting in UK Parliament later, but they don't get up much too early, do they? so I don't expect that to start happening too soon. Looking at aside of that, we have got some speakers, some Fed speakers. We've got a couple out well, I said this morning, 12:30 a.m., 10:30. Oh, okay, we've had one out. We've got one coming out at 10:30. We've got an MPC speaker at 11, and then we've got a bit of US data at 12:30 and 2 o'clock, but not anything there which is a sort of a major mover. Reserve Bank of Australia Assistant Governor Kent speaking there on Tuesday at 11 p.m. But nothing during our working session there at the moment anyway. That's massively key. But we'll see. The speakers might just get something rolling. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.